With over 22 years of experience, there's a reason I don't have any trucks on my lot. So you guys know we've been open for
90 some days?
90 some days, whatever that number is, something over 90 days. And one of the things that obviously you guys know I'm really well in tune is Corvettes, trucks, and Chevys. Well, we haven't had any trucks here with the exception of one, and luckily we got out of that without being harmed or hurt. And here was the lesson that I learned on that truck. Do you know what the lesson is?
Not to buy them?
Not to buy them, but why?
Why? Because they're sitting around.
And why are they sitting around?
Oh, well, that's because dealers were buying them back when they were having trouble getting inventory of the new stuff. Everybody's trading in their cars.
And dealers were sitting here taking all of their customer database, emailing, saying, hey, we want to buy your trucks. And I think what you just said, 17s, 18s, 19s, and up, there's a ton of those trucks on the market, and now they're just sitting. And I bet there's some dealers out there scared right now. And this isn't something that's happened in the last couple of weeks. This is 90 to 120 days ago. So we've been in business for a little over 90 days, and we saw this. And that one truck I bought, we tested it. This was a huge test. I bought this truck. We had it marketed for about 95% of the market. We had it like $2,000 under the entire market, the cheapest one on the market. And we got very few leads on it because people were saying, well, if I got to spend this much money on a 60,000 mile truck, I'm just going to go buy a new one. And they're willing to wait and pay more money for that, which I think is pretty smart. So that's where the current truck market is today, that anything 17 and above is literally just setting. And that's why we haven't bought any trucks.
Yeah, you're not going to get your full top dollar that you were going to get back in 2020.
And we're seeing trucks that are like 19s and 20s that have like 130, 140 day supply right now. And that's extremely long because what is a good day of supply for vehicles?
Well, are you asking what you want or what other dealers want?
Well, just in general in the market.
Less than 30 days.
Less than 30 days, right? So I'm at what?
You want like 15, 20 days.
15, 20 days. If we don't flip our inventory over 15, 20 days, I'm freaking out.
You need to get a little working then.
I know, right? But the biggest question is, should they trade their truck right now if gas hits $4.50, $5 a gallon? We've been seeing pictures of California having $6 and $7 per gallon. I made that meme that says the gas is higher than some of y'all's credit scores, right? That went viral. But should they trade to get out of a 15, 16, 17 mile per gallon vehicle to get in something that gets like 28 miles per gallon?
I think it's going to depend.
She's right. It all does depend, and it depends on a lot of factors, does it not? It's really all case-by-case basis. But I can tell you, based off of selling vehicles in 2008, when the economy crashed, that having trucks that people just bought recently, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months beforehand, and they walk in and they have a $40,000 truck, and all of a sudden that truck literally $15,000, $16,000. I remember appraising a truck that somebody had just bought for $42,000, and we gave him $19,000 of value on that truck. Here's where I think that you don't need to trade in your truck. So yes, when you look at the math, and I've done the math, you're between a 17 mile per gallon truck and a 28 mile per gallon car or SUV, your only difference in savings is going to be about $130 per month.
But that $130 is a week of groceries.
It is a week of groceries. I don't think a week of groceries for us, is it?
Oh yeah, I spend $150 to $160 a week on groceries for us.
How much did you spend on groceries when we had 5 people?
$150.
What? We're spending the same amount with no kids in the house, with just you and me.
Yeah.
You need to cut out on the snacks. So it's all case-by-case basis to trade or not to trade. But doing the math, and I'll post a link in the description that I show you what the math actually is. It's only about $130 per month. Generally speaking, customers have well over $10,000 negative equity on their vehicle if they have bought their car with less than 2 years ago.
But what if they bought a car, say a 2013, that they've had for 5 years?
That's a different story, right? So let's say you do have a truck that is close to being paid off. You're more than 80% through your loan. And 80% doesn't mean that you've paid 80% payments, but you've just knocked down your original loan balance by 80%. And you're like, hey, listen, $4.50 gas, $5 gas, diesel, whatever the case may be, this is killing me. Yes, you're going to take a beating on the trade appraisal if the market changes, which the market hasn't changed a ton at the time of this video. but it can, and it can do it overnight, then yes, maybe you do want to trade to save that money to go into something else. Obviously, I have a Mazda out here that gets 41 miles per gallon. That's $16,000 with equity or money down, or just simply coming in and buying that car. That's a gas payment for some people.
Yeah, you're right.
You're damn right I am.
Maybe instead of driving that truck all the time, you should look at a more gas efficient, inexpensive car that you can, drive around and let your truck sit until the gas prices go back down.
Right. So, we leased our truck. So I negotiated $10,000 off the truck in September of 2020, and we have a $519 lease payment. And so...
And $100 gas payment.
$100 gas payment, right? So if I drove a lot, that would be a big story, but we're not driving a lot. We got 6,000 miles on the car in 6 months. So we're not driving a lot, and we've went to Pennsylvania on that. We went to northern Indiana on that. So if we take those trips out, we would have less than probably 3,000 miles on the truck. So I'm not driving that truck very much, but that's not the case with most people.
Do you want to know how much I spend on gas?
How much do you spend on gas?
0.
That's because I pay for it all.
No.
Oh, that's right.
I drive electric.
You drive electric. But that's one scenario to look at is don't trade your truck in. And instead of paying the gas prices, then you pay for the car payment or use cash and buy a cheap car. And don't expect a cheap car at $6,000, $10,000. You're going to have to look for a car at $15,000 and $16,000 to find something gas efficient. But like our little Mazda out here with 41 miles per gallon on the highway, that can be a huge deal for someone to go out there and not trade their truck in, just get an extra vehicle, and also with the insurance and the payment and the gas savings, you might save money and not take a loss on that truck trading it in. So in my professional opinion, with over 22 years of experience in the automotive industry and living through one of the toughest times in the automotive sector in 2008, my personal opinion is do not try to trade your truck if the values start going down and the gas prices start going up. And the biggest thing to remember is the truck market and this big SUV market may get flooded even more if repos go up, because when gas prices go up, repos go up. And again, 22 years of experience of being a salesperson, being a manager in this business, and now an owner of a dealership.
You're an owner?